Hey, I'm not going to stay on long tonight because I'm really seriously not feeling good. Um, Yesterday, we went to town, went to Walmart, and we got 24 cases of water. And I was holding on to the buggy, and Dean dropped one in the buggy, and it jarred me all the way up into my head and gave me a headache. So I said, I wished you wouldn't do that. And he said, well, I'm old and I can't set it down in the buggy. So I said, don't get the second one, I'll get the second one. And I walked over and I picked it up and I carried it and I set it down in the buggy. I didn't drop it, I set it. And then we came home and Kona was out again. So I went around there and I found out where she was getting out. And the only way I could figure out to fix it was she had climbed up and pulled the top of the wire down. And so I had to put a board up there. So I found a 12-foot 2x4 that I carried over there and tried to hold it up and nail it up with a heavy hammer, but I couldn't hold it up and hammer it. So I laid it on the ground. Dean come around and gave me some help, and I put 2 nails in it, and he held it up while I nailed it onto the post. And I've just got it propped up on the other end. It's not tied up, but I don't know what to do. There's a metal post down there. I don't know how to hook it to that metal post, but that stopped her from getting out at that one place, and till she finds another one to get out of. I've come to the decision I'm going to need a 5-foot fence, not because she jumps it, but because she's climbing over. And this one is not really in that great a shape. It was just throwed up. My grandson helped us. I'm going probably in the next couple of weeks buy this 5-foot fence, and I guess I'll put it up. I'm going to see if my grandson will come up and help me with it. And it's getting so hot, it's too hot to work out there, but it's got to be done. It's going to have to be done.
Get rid of the dog one.
But anyway, I've got too much money tied up in a dog that you wanted, Dean. I'm not going to get rid of her. I've got nearly $300 tied up in her, paying the shelter fee and having her fixed. Probably over $300. It's a dog that you wanted. I didn't want, but you wanted her, and she's about more than we can handle. But you wanted her, and of course, I'm the one that has to keep her in the fence. But anyway, this is life. This is my life. This is the real me. This is the real Dean, and this is the way we live. I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with, and he's not either. I was controlled before. I don't want to be controlled anymore, so I'm very independent. But anyway, back to what happened yesterday. I carried in those 2 cases of water, and the second case is what really got me down, because at that point my feet and ankles started spasming and having pains in them, like they were breaking. Then it went to my knees, and then my hips, my back, my wrist, my hands, my fingers, my shoulders, my neck. And like I said, I had a headache from being jarred by that buggy. And so today, last night I could hardly walk. I couldn't sleep at all last night because of the pain every time I turned over. I was up trying to cane last night, but today I've resorted to the walker to get me to the bathroom and back, and it's torture to go to the bathroom and back. I tried to record on my new computer, my new camera, but again, I couldn't get a sound, so I'm not sure what's going on with the mic on that.
Money wasted.
And Dean thinks it's money wasted. The camera's a good camera. If I have to buy another mic to go on it, I will. There's one thing about it. I think the GoPro, I would agree with him, the GoPro is a waste of money. I mean, if you can't keep a program keep it programmed to the Wi-Fi so you can download your videos. What good is it? So far, my computer, the camera on my computer has been the most trustworthy. But anyway, before I forget, let me thank you all for subscribing and watching. I'm sorry you hear this tonight, but this is the real me. And this is the life I live, the life Dean lives. And I don't know which one of us is the most miserable, but anyway, we are what we are, and it is what it is. And you know, there's the good days, the bad days. The good days are getting fewer and far between than what they used to be. And the bad days seem to be outnumbering the good days, but we're both under a lot of stress, I can say that. For one thing, he's old. He's 68. He says himself, I'm old. I can't do anything because I'm old. I'm 67 and I want to do things, and now I'm sick and I can't. If I wasn't sick, I could work rings around him and any man that's probably half his age, because I've always had to do things on my own. And I try, whether I get it done or not. I bought my table for the TV. It took me 8 hours to put it together, but I got it together. And it didn't used to take me that long, but I can't remember how to do things. I bought a table to go by the love seat. It took me 5 hours to do it. And then I bought 2 end tables to go on each side of the couch that are smaller. And they took me about 2.5 hours each to do them. And if I could remember how, I used to put stuff together and it wasn't any problem, but sometimes I can't even remember how to put a screw in. Or yesterday we stopped and got gas and I couldn't remember where the button was to push to open my gas cap. And I know I don't drive that often, but still, you know, that's getting bad when your memory's that bad. And so I know that I'm going to be needing help with stuff, and there's things that Dean can't do because he's old, and that's another reason I want to get back to Cleveland, because I need help. And so pray for me to make it back to Cleveland before I die. And help me to his opinion is just get in the car and go, but I keep telling him I need a place of my own. I can't go down there and pile up on people like he did back in September or October when he quit his job and went down there and stayed with his daughter for a couple of weeks and offered her $300 a month to stay with her, and she wouldn't let him. So he was going to go stay in the woods in his truck, and I felt sorry for him and let him come back, and then he had to let his truck go because we couldn't afford that truck payment. It was way too high. And I traded my little car for a bigger car so he could fit in it, which is kind of going full circle to what happened the first time when I had my Oldsmobile Alira. I only liked a couple of years on it, and I traded it for a bigger car for him and ended up losing that car. And so I traded my little Nissan for a bigger Nissan, and hopefully it won't take my whole check if I do end up not getting to go back to work. I mean, I know it will, because I pay $500 a month, and I don't make but $600 and something, because they take out $140 for insurance. And but
And who pays that?
who pays what, Dean?
Pay insurance.
my $140, Medicare takes it out of my check. So anyway, I'm going to close for here for now because um, I think I've whined enough, and keep
Yeah,
us
you have.
keep us in prayer. And
Your point.
you can hear the peanut gallery in the background, and you can see what I have to live with. Um, I mean, I'm not doing this behind his back. And I asked him if there was anything he wanted to say, and he said no, but he sure is putting in a lot of input. He does that when I'm on the phone too. He can't do business on the phone, but when I get on the phone to do the business, he's sitting there talking over them where I can't hear what they're saying. And but I guess he's braver in the background than he is up front.
No,
And but anyway, remember that God is with you every day that ends in Y. And sleep peacefully tonight. God is watching. Keep us in your prayer. And keep Corey's babies in your prayer. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be feeling better. I've got to go for my Sabri treatment tomorrow. So I don't know how that will go. But keep me in prayer to get a wheelchair too. I'll have to get a hold of the neurologist to get him probably to prescribe it so Medicare will get me one. But thank you very much for subscribing and for watching. I love y'all.